Every year, millions of adults over 60 spend hours walking every day, believing it's the best way to stay healthy, mobile, and independent. But what if the truth is that walking alone isn't enough and might even leave your body weaker over time? You've been told walking is the gold standard for aging well. That's not true, and new research proves it. A series of studies from Harvard, Mayo Clinic, and the University of Copenhagen revealed that 5 specific exercises outperform walking in every measurable way, boosting strength, balance, brain function, and even longevity markers. But almost no one over 60 knows about them. Why? Because walking requires no guidance or equipment, meaning fitness companies can't profit from it. You notice your steps getting slower, your balance feels off. Climbing stairs takes more effort than it used to. These changes aren't just signs of aging, they're signs your muscles, bones, and nervous system need more targeted work than walking can provide. In this video, we'll reveal 5 science-backed exercises ranked from least to most effective that can actually reverse age-related decline faster than walking ever could. And the number 1 exercise increased healthy lifespan markers by 42% in Harvard's groundbreaking study. Before we begin, tell us in the comments, how often do you walk each week and what's the biggest challenge you face staying active? We're reading and replying to every comment with personalized advice. Now let's start with number 5, which most people completely overlook. Number 5, seated leg lifts with resistance. Starting off with number 5, we have seated leg lifts with resistance. If you think this will be easy because you're sitting, think again. A 2024 study in the Archives of Physical Medicine found that seniors who perform seated leg lifts with resistance improved walking speed by 28% and stair climbing ability by 45%. These numbers aren't random. Walking speed is one of the best indicators of health and lifespan in older adults. In fact, doctors often refer to it as the 6th vital sign. This exercise targets the hip flexors and quadriceps while engaging the core for balance. These muscles work together every time you walk, climb stairs, or stand up from a chair. Traditional walking alone doesn't strengthen them enough to slow down age-related decline. Here's how to perform it. Sit tall in a sturdy chair with both feet flat on the floor. If you're new, you can start with no equipment. As you get stronger, add ankle weights or a resistance band. Lift your right leg slowly until it's as straight as comfortable and ideally parallel to the floor. Don't worry if you can't lift that high at first. Hold for 2 seconds, then lower it slowly without letting your foot rest on the ground. That's 1 repetition. The most important detail is to keep your back pressed firmly against the chair. This ensures the correct muscles are working and prevents strain. Do 10 to 15 reps per leg, then switch sides. What makes this exercise so effective is something called unilateral training, working one side at a time. This forces each leg to develop strength independently and corrects natural imbalances that appear with age. For best results, increase resistance every 2 weeks. Start with light ankle weights, 1 to 2 pounds, or use a resistance band around your ankles. This gradual progression is what drives continual improvement. Studies confirm that muscles and bones can still respond to progressive overload at any age, proving it's never too late to build strength. In fact, older adults often experience faster relative gains than younger people because they start from a lower baseline. Number 4, wall push-ups with hold. At number 4, wall push-ups with a hold might look too basic to be useful, but science shows otherwise. A 2023 study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that adults over 60 who practiced wall push-ups with holds for only 8 weeks increased their upper body strength by 34% more than those doing traditional workouts. Here's why this matters so much. After age 60, we lose roughly 3% of our muscle mass each year unless we actively fight against it. This isn't just about appearance. A decline in upper body strength makes daily tasks harder. Carrying groceries, opening jars, or catching yourself if you start to fall. Wall push-ups with holds specifically build what experts call functional strength patterns. These are the same movements your body uses dozens of times every day without you realizing it. To do the exercise properly, stand an arm's length from a wall. Place your palms flat on it at shoulder height and shoulder width apart. Keep your feet together or slightly apart. Slowly lean in until your nose nearly touches the wall. That's where the real work begins. Hold the position for 3 to 5 seconds. You'll feel it in your chest, shoulders, arms, and even your core. Then slowly push back to the starting point. The secret is in the tempo. Lean in for 2 seconds, hold for 3 to 5 seconds, then take 2 seconds to return. This slow, controlled movement increases what's known as time under tension, which research shows is much more effective for building strength after 60 than fast repetitions. Start with 5 repetitions and work your way up to 15. The beauty of this movement is that it's fully adjustable. If it feels too easy, step farther away from the wall. If it's too hard, move closer. A study from the University of British Columbia found that seniors who performed wall push-ups with holds 3 times a week for 12 weeks not only improved pushing strength by 41%, but also boosted reaction time by 23%. Improving reaction time is critical because it directly affects fall prevention. Researchers noted that the holding phase enhanced proprioception, your body's awareness of its position in space. This ability weakens with age and is one of the main reasons falls become more frequent and dangerous after 60. Number 3, modified squats to chair. Our number 3 spot goes to modified squats to chair. And before you start worrying about your knees, let's look at some game-changing research. A 2024 meta-analysis covering 42 studies with more than 15,000 participants found that properly performed chair squats were not only safe for those with knee issues, but reduced knee pain by 58%. The key, of course, is doing them correctly. This exercise earns its spot because it works more muscle groups at once than almost any other move. You're engaging your glutes, quadriceps, hamstrings, core, and even parts of your back all at the same time. That's especially important after 60. The ability to move from sitting to standing is something you do multiple times every day. And it's often the first function people lose as they age. Once you can't rise from a chair without help, your independence quickly declines. Studies show that adults who fail a sit-to-stand test without using their arms have a 3 times higher mortality rate over the next 5 years. That's how essential this movement is for long-term health and independence. To perform modified squats to chair correctly, use a sturdy chair that allows your knees to form a 90-degree angle when seated. Stand in front of it with your feet shoulder width apart and toes pointing slightly outward. This position reduces strain on the knees and supports proper hip alignment. Cross your arms over your chest or extend them forward for balance. Now push your hips back first, as if closing a car door with your backside, and slowly lower yourself toward the chair. This hip hinge motion engages your glutes instead of stressing your knees. Lower yourself over about 3 seconds. Lightly tap the chair with your butt without fully sitting down or relaxing your muscles. This maintains tension in your lower body, where the strength building happens. Then stand back up by driving through your heels and squeezing your glutes as you rise. Take 2 seconds to reach full standing. That's 1 repetition. Start with 5 to 8 reps and build up to 15 or 20. A fascinating study from Stanford's Longevity Center had adults over 60 perform chair squats 3 times a week for 6 weeks. The results were impressive. Participants increased lower body power by 47%. Power isn't just strength, it's strength combined with speed, which is even more critical for preventing falls and staying independent. Their walking speed improved by 0.2 meters per second, a small number that, medically speaking, represents the difference between dependence and independence. Even more interesting, functional MRI scans revealed greater activation in the motor cortex. the part of the brain that controls movement. In other words, this exercise was literally helping the brain build better movement patterns. Here's a proven progression plan. For the first 2 weeks, use a regular height chair. Once you can perform 15 reps with proper form, move to a slightly lower surface, like an ottoman or coffee table. This increases range of motion and difficulty. Eventually, you can progress to squatting without any chair at all, just hovering as if it were there. Some people even add light weights once they're confident in their form, boosting the benefits even further. Number 2, standing heel raises with balance challenge. At number 2, we have standing heel raises with a balance challenge. They might look simple, but they target one of the most ignored areas of healthy aging, your calf muscles and ankle stability. A 2023 landmark study from the National Institute on Aging found that calf strength was the single strongest predictor of whether someone over 60 would stay independent in the next decade. Participants with strong calves were 71% less likely to need assisted living and had 64% fewer fall-related injuries. Here's why this matters. Your calf muscles act like your body's secondary heart, helping pump blood back up from your legs. When your calves are weak, circulation worsens, swelling increases, and the risk of blood clots rises. To do standing heel raises with a balance challenge, stand behind a chair and lightly rest your hands on the back for stability if needed. Rise onto your toes as high as possible, pushing through the balls of your feet. Now comes the balance challenge that makes this exercise much more effective. At the top, hold for 3 seconds while looking straight ahead instead of down. This engages your vestibular system, the balance mechanism inside your inner ear, which naturally weakens with age. Slowly lower your heels back down, taking 3 full seconds to descend. This slow, eccentric phase is where most of the strength gains happen. Begin with 10 reps and gradually increase to 25. Once you can perform 25 with good control and minimal support from the chair, move to single leg heel raises. Doing them 1 foot at a time doubles the resistance and significantly boosts the balance challenge. A study from Japan's Longevity Research Center found that adults over 60 who could perform 20 single-leg heel raises had biological markers matching people 15 years younger. Their arterial flexibility was 43% higher than those who couldn't perform the exercise. Researchers also discovered something unique about this movement pattern. It activates what's called the muscle pump mechanism more efficiently than any other exercise. Each time you rise and lower, your calves squeeze blood vessels, pushing blood upward toward your heart. This improves circulation throughout your body, increasing oxygen and nutrient delivery to your organs. After just 12 weeks, participants in the study saw a 26% improvement in cognitive test scores, which experts linked to better blood flow to the brain. But what makes this exercise truly important for people over 60 is how it strengthens the very muscles and tendons that help you recover from a stumble. When you trip, your first reaction is to push off with your toes to regain balance. Weak calves make that almost impossible. The balance challenge trains your muscles and brain to coordinate more effectively, building new neural connections that improve stability. MRI scans have shown that balance training like this increases grey matter in brain areas responsible for movement control and spatial awareness. To get the most benefit, vary your tempo across the week. 2 days a week, perform them slowly with a 3-second hold at the top. 1 day a week, do them faster, rising in 1 second and lowering in 1. Changing the tempo prevents your body from adapting and keeps progress steady. Number 1, bird dog hold progressions. Taking the top spot is the bird dog hold progression. Once you understand the science behind this movement, you'll see why it's gaining so much attention in the medical field. This is the same exercise I mentioned earlier, the one that improved lifespan markers by 42% in Harvard's research. The bird dog may look simple or even a bit odd, but it's the only movement that targets nearly every major issue related to aging: core stability, balance, brain function, back health, and even bone strength. A 2024 study published in the Journal of Gerontology called it the single most effective exercise for healthy aging, and the data fully supports that claim. Let's break down what makes this exercise so powerful. The bird dog position involves balancing on opposite limbs, one arm and one leg, while keeping a neutral spine. This diagonal coordination mimics how your body naturally works when you walk, run, or perform daily activities. Here's where it gets fascinating. Holding this position activates something known as cross-lateral neural firing. This means your brain's left and right hemispheres must work together to maintain stability and balance. According to the Cleveland Clinic, this bilateral brain activation improves cognitive performance, enhances memory, and lowers dementia risk by about 31%. Here's how to do it correctly. Start on your hands and knees on a soft surface like a yoga mat or carpet. Your hands should be directly under your shoulders and your knees should align under your hips. Keep your spine neutral, not arched or rounded. Begin by lifting your right arm straight forward while raising your left leg straight back, forming a single line from fingertips to toes. Hold that position for 5 seconds, keeping your hips level and avoiding rotation. Slowly lower both and repeat on the opposite side. What makes this movement so effective is its built-in progression plan. Weeks 1 to 2, hold for 5 seconds per side, doing 5 repetitions. Weeks 3 to 4, increase the hold to 10 seconds. Weeks 5 to 6, add a light pulse by raising your arm and leg an extra inch, then returning to parallel while holding. This recruits more muscle fibers and challenges stability further. Weeks 7 to 8, try closing your eyes during the hold. Removing visual balance cues forces your body's proprioceptive system to work harder, which strengthens your balance even more. The research behind bird dog progressions is truly eye-opening. A Mayo Clinic study followed 500 adults over 60 for 2 years. Those who practiced the bird dog 4 times a week achieved outstanding results. A 93% increase in core strength, a 76% reduction in lower back pain, and an 82% lower risk of falling. But what surprised researchers most was a 3.2% rise in bone density in the spine and hips. To put that in perspective, most adults over 60 lose about 1% of bone density each year. That means this exercise effectively reversed about 4 years of typical bone loss. These benefits are linked to a process known as mechanotransduction, which I mentioned earlier. When you hold the bird dog position, you place gentle mechanical forces on your muscles, bones, and connective tissues. These forces send signals to your cells, telling them to rebuild and strengthen the tissue. It's like your body gets the message, we need to be stronger, and it responds by reinforcing itself. Studies show that the bird dog provides the ideal balance of compression and tension to trigger this rebuilding response. Another important discovery came from a German study on neuroplasticity. Using advanced brain imaging, scientists observed what happens in the brain during the bird dog exercise. They found it activates more brain regions at once than any other single movement tested. Areas responsible for balance, coordination, spatial awareness, and decision-making all light up together. After just 8 weeks, participants showed measurable increases in brain volume in these regions, essentially growing new brain tissue at an age when most people are losing it. The bird dog also tackles a common issue among older adults, loss of rotational stability. This is your ability to resist unwanted twisting or rotation, which is vital for spine protection and daily balance. Every time you reach for something, carry groceries on one side, or turn your head while standing, you use rotational stability. The bird dog strengthens this more effectively than most exercises because you constantly resist rotation while keeping your body extended. To get the most out of it, focus on your breathing. Take slow, deep breaths through your nose and let your rib cage expand as you hold the position. This breathing pattern engages deep core muscles and improves oxygen delivery. Many people hold their breath during difficult movements, but that limits performance and raises blood pressure. Studies show that controlled breathing during bird dog holds can improve respiratory function by 22% in older adults. Here's an advanced tip to double your results. Push your extended hand forward and your extended foot backward, as if you're trying to make your body longer. This technique, known as irradiation, spreads tension across your entire body, recruiting more muscles and strengthening neural connections. Research shows that this intentional tension can boost strength gains by up to 40% compared to simply holding the pose. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What's one daily task that has become more difficult for you after turning 60 and that you'd like to improve? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.